Schools Free by Cable. Volunteer to help your school build a video library. Thanks to the Weather Channel, Cable in the Classroom comes home.
Do we have to go back for lunch?
In the next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
In the Midwest, a line of thunderstorms. Some of these thunderstorms may be severe this hour. Thank you for joining us here at Weather Center. I'm Lisa Moser.
And I'm Dan Atkinson. Unseasonably warm temperatures continue to heat up the north and southeast. We'll begin with a look, though, at the stormy weather. Here's a look at the current surface map, and you can see over the Great Lakes there is an area of precipitation as some showers and some thunderstorms continue sweeping on eastward. Actually not a result of a cold front, which typically would be the case for springtime thunderstorms. These are thunderstorms which are being triggered by an upper level disturbance, a short wave in the atmosphere in the upper levels making its way on through the Great Lakes. And there is a trough at the surface, the trailing edge of the precipitation area. And in recent hours we have seen some severe thunderstorms impacting areas like Illinois and Indiana on into southeastern portions of Michigan. In Detroit, you have had some heavy weather, but conditions have much improved for you now. The weather has moved on toward the east, but earlier there were a number of wind and hail reports coming in from Illinois. Across Indiana, you had around Fort Wayne 2-foot diameter trees down, so that gives you a clear indication of what kind of winds we're talking about with this system. The heavy weather is past you in Toledo now. Still some rain there for you, but you're about to get into some drier weather. And the main area as the storms sweep on toward the east, Erie and Huron counties there in north central Ohio, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 2:15 Eastern time. Also the adjacent waters of Lake Erie. Seneca County in Ohio also under a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45. Some communities in the path of these storms are Fostoria, Tiffin, and Republic. And also the line is moving toward the east at about 40 miles per hour and should be reaching Sandusky about now, and Norwalk and New Haven around 1:45. So heavy weather indeed, and we take a wider look and you can see that this is a fairly small area, a concentrated area of severe thunderstorms. Mostly what we're seeing wrapped around into Michigan is light rain over portions of northern Michigan there. Temperature is 62 now in Chicago, Cleveland 73 with the thunderstorms moving in from the west pretty soon. Cincinnati now 71, cooler air back over the northern plains. And Lisa will have more on the cold weather in the west and the snow in just a moment. First off, in the northeast though, we find the big story today, of course, the record warmth again. Starting today, you had low temperatures as much as 20 to 25 degrees above normal for the date. And these were the record highs yesterday. You may know that a number of cities across the Northeast yesterday topped out with records. Cleveland, you hit 80. Erie, Pennsylvania, 79. Actually, the list was much longer than this, but this is representative sampling. And today, we've already had 3 record highs set. Hartford at Bradley Airport, 84 degrees. Warwick, Rhode Island, 83. You've tied at Worcester, Massachusetts with 81 degrees. One of the reasons for the very warm weather, not only the sunny skies that you're having, but also, and more importantly, the strong winds still pumping in that warm air from the southwest. And they're gusting at times to 35 miles per hour. Boston, you're now 85. New York, 77. 75 degrees in Philadelphia. Across the southeast, 74 in Atlanta, 77 degrees in Panama City, 80 in New Orleans. And things are dry across the southeast as high pressure dominates, keeping you enjoying a pleasant springtime afternoon. Lisa?
The big question is, how long will that warm spell last, Dan? We'll check that out in the forecast. But first, let's take a look at where it's cool at. We are looking at not only rain showers in the low-lying areas, but the coastal range. We're looking at some of the mountains below 3,000 feet, getting 1 to 3 inches of snow. It's adding up right now. Also, I want to point out that it's cool today. Temperatures not expected in Los Angeles to get into the low 60s. If we see 60, we'll be doing pretty good. The highs should be topping out in the upper 50s for today. This mechanism, it continues to pump in a lot of moisture. We have the surface low trying to nudge on in, the upper level low a little bit further out. And we're going to continue to see a pretty wet day today. As we head into the evening hours, things should begin to dry up a little bit more. We are looking at the wraparound moisture as a low-pressure area towards Denver, Colorado. Some of the moisture wrapping in behind it. So Miles City down into Billings, Montana, we're looking at very wet conditions here. It is likely that in and around Rapid City, this Interstate 90, we may have some problems in here around South Dakota and the Black Hills of South Dakota and Nebraska. We may see some thunderstorms, and some of these thunderstorms could intensify. We're getting to that part of the day again where the surface is warming up, and that will be additional fuel for our mechanism here. Looking at the overrunning, you can see that it is coming way up there into the Black Hill country and the central plains of South Dakota. Could possibly even make it up around Minot. Certainly the cloud cover should be making it up there in the next couple of hours. Behind our system here, you'll notice that we're getting a little bit of a drier condition across northern and central California. Rain showers have really tapered off the past few hours, but what we're seeing is still an onshore flow as our mechanism continues to push on further inland. Windy conditions, we're going to look at the lightning data. Gotta look at that. A low pressure area pulling into the Four Corners region, but we're still seeing enough energy behind this system reflecting down to the surface to see Las Vegas getting some thunder boomers. You can see that we have actually not as well organized or well defined low pressure area once the low does get into the Rockies. Once it pulls out, we'll see it reorganize and become just one center low pressure area. But at this time, it's kind of broken up. We're a little further to the south here near Nevada. Frontal boundary draping up here. We still have that onshore flow with that mechanism and a few disturbances in the mid-levels pulling in additional moisture here. So we look for the snow to continue in in the Sierra Mountainous terrain and the southern coastal range as well. Below 3,000 feet, we can see another inch of snow accumulate. Our low pressure area up here by Wyoming will continue to give us that circulation with a little upslope. And so with the hill country here, we're likely to see additional moisture because of the terrain giving us that upslope push. Now let's point out those windy conditions across Southern California. Look out, they'll be above 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and also the waters are a bit choppy, so it's not a real good surfing day because you know this is very favorable for those riptides, and of course that can be a bit dangerous for weekenders. Los Angeles 54, we'll be lucky to see the temperatures climb up out of the 50s for today. Lots of cloudy skies, and the drizzle will be still coming in even after the rain showers end later this afternoon. We'll watch the system reorganize the low pressure area, pulls out of the Rockies. Tomorrow morning it'll be a wet day across much of the Dakotas, and we will continue to see the temperatures in the 50s towards the northern plains.
But don't start your Saturday outing unprepared. We'll tell you where the travel trouble spots are coming up next.
On a clear night in the outback, they say you can see every single star in the sky. And people come from all over with one thing on their mind: food.
That looks like a steak knife to me.
From juicy steak to tender chicken, fresh fish to barbecued ribs.
And up ahead, ladies and gents, dinner.
You'll see things you won't see anywhere else.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Visit our website for the Outback Steakhouse nearest you. Outback. No rules, just right.
Schools Free by Cable. Volunteer to help your school build a video library. Thanks to the Weather Channel, Cable in the Classroom comes home.
Do we have to go back for lunch?
In the next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Changes faster than the weather, but we're running a close second. Stay informed with Weather Center all day today and every day.
In the next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Changes faster than the weather, but we're running a close second. Stay informed with Weather Center all day today and every day.
In the next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
have had some very strong thunderstorms this afternoon to push through the Great Lakes here. They're beginning to weaken, and we're now looking out towards the west. Wyoming and Arizona will be looking at those thunderstorms strengthening as we head into the later afternoon hours. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Weather Center. I'm Lisa Moser.
And I'm Dan Atkinson. Despite areas of stormy weather, much of the east is enjoying a beautiful spring day with unseasonably warm temperatures. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first the inclement weather. Here's a look first at the national surface map, and let's zero in on the Midwest and the Northeast, the Great Lakes, where we're having the rainy weather today, and not just rainy, but pretty stormy earlier today, as we will see. Right now, though, fortunately, the storms have been weakening as they have been pushing on toward the east. The last severe thunderstorm warning in effect was for Erie and Huron counties, that is in this area, Erie and Huron counties in north central Ohio. Those storms weakened before they moved into the Cleveland area. You have gotten some rain, and in fact it has continued to sweep in from the southwest, training pretty much over the Cleveland area. And the precipitation is associated with a small storm system impacting the Great Lakes area and beginning now to push the rain on into western portions of New York State. Here's a look at radar, and you can see again in Cleveland you continue to get the rainy weather as it streams in from the southwest right on over toward the north and east, but it's mostly light to moderate rain now. Leading edge of that precipitation getting into the Buffalo area, you're getting some occasional moderate rain as these storms sweep on in. Also beginning to rain for you around Jamestown, New York, on down toward Erie, Pennsylvania. Earlier today, when this system was stronger and the storms were severe as they came through the Detroit area, here's a look at what the weather was like for you then. Visibility quite low with the heavy downpours, and the Motor City had the storms come through late morning, I should say, and most areas received about a half an inch of rain. Wind was another byproduct of the storm. In general, gusts were 40 to 50 miles per hour. However, west of downtown Detroit and Redford, there was a reported gust up to 85 miles per hour, and some significant tree damage in the area too, we understand. Well, temperatures across the area include 63 degrees now in Chicago, with the rain still falling in Cleveland, 60 degrees. Looking on toward the north and east, we find temperatures still well above normal, where you've had readings, in fact, at the start of the day, 20 to 25 degrees above normal for the date. And already today we've had some record highs at Boston, or at Milton, Massachusetts. You're topping the list so far, 86 degrees. Boston, 85. You have since cooled down somewhat at Boston. Your temperature has jumped up and then fallen down depending on your wind direction. When you're getting a wind out of the southeast, as you were at noon, that gives you the cooler, moderating influence of the ocean, and your temperature at noon was 79 degrees. An hour later, you were having a wind out of the southwest, and the temperature had jumped up to 85 degrees. Actually, you were 76 at noon, so it climbed by 9 degrees in just 1 hour. These are the southwesterly gusts coming in, bringing in that warm air across the northeastern portion of the country. Right now, you're getting that southerly influence with a wind coming in off the Atlantic. 73 at Boston's Logan Field, 68 in New York, 76 in Philadelphia. Meanwhile, across the southeast, very warm weather, not records, but certainly above normal for this time of year. 76 in Atlanta, 78 in Charleston, 80 in Miami, and generally dry. Could have a few sprinkles along the east coast of Florida as high pressure ridges in and keeps most of this part of the country dry and sunny on this last weekend of March. Lisa?
Dan, thanks. We have windy conditions out west, but if you're looking for a warm air, you're just not going to find warm conditions out west, at least not today. Winter-like conditions are what we're looking at. Let's take a look at some rain falling in the low-lying areas from Santa Barbara to Los Angeles. We have seen conditions a little bit milder this past half hour, but the rain showers will be moving back in, so don't put the umbrella up. In the high elevations above 2,000 feet, we're looking at more light snow. Some of the higher peaks will be seeing even more snow than that, but if you're doing some traveling, maybe going north on Interstate 5 leaving Los Angeles, or Interstate 15 going to the high country there, we could possibly see snow and at some of the passes. So be careful, because winter conditions certainly in store. If you're traveling to the north, you'll go through some of those passes in the coastal range in the high country, and you are likely to run into some of that snow. Okay, be prepared for that. Snow also, and it's getting moderate, you guys, in and around Billings, Montana. We've been seeing moderate snow, but reports come out of there much of this afternoon, and so it is very likely that we will see conditions kind of poor at times. The snow is being blown around. We have winds gusting here, not as high as what we're experiencing in and around Los Angeles, where the winds are around 30 miles per hour wind gusts, but we are seeing them occasionally around 20, 25, okay? So please be aware that visibility will be poor at times because this snow continues to come down. It's collecting on the ground now, and a lot of that will be blowing around as well. If you're headed up towards Miles City, keep in mind the elevation a little bit lower here, and so it's likely that you'll go from snow to rain. In and around Rapid City earlier, we did see a few thunder boomers. It's not done yet, but it does look like the activity has moved a little further to the east. If you're doing some travel along that Route 90 or Interstate 90, you've got a wet go of it. Okay, give yourself some extra time. I want to show you the satellite imagery where you'll notice that two areas, the low pressure area not as well compact, but it will get back together as it pulls out of the Rockies overnight tonight. But this moisture that we're seeing from Rapid City going up towards Miles, well, that's the north side of our low. The frontal boundary draping down to the southern parts of Arizona and Old Mexico, onshore flow continues, and what we're going to be seeing is maybe a few thunder boomers this afternoon in and around the Phoenix, Arizona area. Still, with the dynamics aloft, we get these little disturbances in our mid-levels, and we could still see a thunderstorm or two in and around Southern California. So we're not done yet here. It's not out of the question. Looking at the lightning data, you'll be seeing additional thunderstorms. You'll notice Utah, we're beginning to see some thunderstorms. Well, this is going to continue. We're at that part of the day where the surface has been heating up because of the sun, and so we're getting that second ingredient that helps to fuel the fire. You notice, as I said, the low pressure area not well organized, but this will rejoin itself together and pull out of the Rockies overnight tonight. In the meantime, very windy conditions continue along the southern borders of California, gusts over 35 miles per hour at times, and we also have very choppy waters as a result. Looking at the temperatures, we're not expecting them to get out of the 50s today. In Los Angeles, 55 the current temperature. As I said, that low pressure area will be pulling out of the Rockies overnight tonight. This is going to mean rain showers pulling into the Midwest again as we head into Sunday afternoon. Make your Sunday plans with warm temperatures early, but rain showers definitely on the way again for Chicago and Grand Rapids.
And will your weekend getaway plans be a washout? Stay with us for TravelWise.
We'll be back right after your local forecast.
For beautiful, healthy trees, you need a fertilizer made for trees. Feeds underground at the root where trees eat. Job's Fertilizer Spikes. It's what trees want.
Nothing changes faster than the weather, but we're running a close second. Stay informed with Weather Center all day today and every day.
In the next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Changes faster than the weather, but we're running a close second. Stay informed with Weather Center all day today and every day.
In the next next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Lost in Space launches onto the big screen, and the Sci-Fi Channel is mission control. Get completely lost in space. Begins Wednesday at 9 a.m.
The Sci-Fi Channel presents Inside the Twilight Zone. Even before Darren met Samantha, several bewitched cast members had already visited the Twilight Zone. Larry Tate, actor David White, in Icing the Body Electric. Scheming Endora, alias Agnes Moorehead, in The Invaders. Darren Stevens, Dick York, in A Penny for Your Thoughts. And in 2, Samantha herself, Elizabeth Montgomery, on the Twilight Zone, only on the Sci-Fi Channel.
If I were your role model, who would I be? One of the beautiful people? Would I have to be tall and thin and have no hips to make you want to be me? Could I have hips and start each day eating more of the things that are good for me, so that if I eat something that's not so good, it's okay?